What about technique for beginners? I'm Hilda Ryan with your quick tip for piano teachers. Last week, I mentioned that I have a student finishing his first year of piano with me, and one of you asked me to let you know how he does. So we've just finished our last lesson of the year. I teach 28 lessons in the year, which is probably considerably less than some of you teach, but that's what works for me. And I got him through my Folk Tunes 1 and Folk Tunes 2. And we are now ready for Folk Tunes 3, and that's the extent of my methods book. These are available on Music Teacher Resources. Music Teacher Resources as a download, and then you can make copies, all the copies you want for your students. You never have to pay for it but once. You don't have to pay for it again. So he finished book 2, which has him ready for book 3, which uses just these simple chords as accompaniment. Hands are together. The right hand is going out of a 5-finger position, but still in very simple keys. So that's where we finished. Now, what did I do for technique? Well, first of all, obviously, in the first lessons, I addressed position at the piano. If you look back a few weeks, I dealt with this very thing. Sitting up straight, leaning forward, and the hands right here so that you have a triangle like so. Putting your hand as if you have a little ball in the underneath, and then your hand is just naturally rounded. The heel of the hand here is about parallel to the key bed. Now, the only other thing that would be really technique would be this, and I addressed this morning. Keep your wrist still. That's what I heard. So I said, just keep your wrist still. He fixed it immediately. He fixed it immediately. Now, I did not explain why, that it gets in the way of shaping phrases. I just said it sounds better, because that's all he needs to know right now, because that's all we're doing right now, see? And by the way, that is a principle. I said to him, so I want you to remember this. Every time you see a piece that has repeated notes, I want you to remember to keep your wrist still. Not just for this piece, but for every piece from now on. So I'm going to write this as a principle in your assignment book. And I'm going to put this little bracket right there, which means that you transfer this. You write this in your onto your principles page, which I have all my students keep. A principles page that they keep adding to. So that's one of the few principles he has in his on this sheet from this 1 year of teaching. So the main thing for me for technique is just to make sure they're not bouncing their wrist. It's a habit, and it's better to fix it sooner than later.